What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Double Thought Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yes, we got him. In today's show, we're going to be, of course, it's going to be a legal show today, as you can already guess.
When there's no cops around, anything's legal.
In today's show, we're going to talk about MrBeast Burger suing MrBeast for 100 million. Tight. We're going to talk about Lindsay Shiver, possibly the Black Widow, being released down in Bahamas. Watch out, guys. Watch out. We're going to talk about Lizzo being dropped from the Super Bowl considerations after more people joining the suit. And of course, we're going to close out with another crypto king going to jail.
Yes, guys, we have a good one for you today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show. Spin it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, guys. Before we proceed, of course, we want to thank everyone that's checking out this show. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the Double Thought Show. Remember to engage with us, like, share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. Comment. We want to know what you think about the topics we discuss. But most importantly, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel. We want to get 20 new subs this week. So especially for those that has been rewatching our clips without subscribing. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel. It means a lot. Before we proceed, especially in today's show, it's very important to remind you guys of the disclaimer. The disclaimer can be found, if you want to read it, in the description box below. But in short, we're just here to provide entertainment. We talk about interesting topics. And of course, in this show, we're going to talk about legal topics, but we are by no means financial advisors or legal advisors or any kind of advisors here on the Double Thought Show. We are just here to provide entertainment. With that being said, we can proceed.
Thanks for the housekeeping, RJ. That means...
Bora! Hora do show!
Yes, it's showtime, guys, and we're going to start the show, as you already said in the intro, with MrBeast Burger. We talked about it last week already. MrBeast wants to cut ties with MrBeast Burger. MrBeast Burger basically said, MrBeast said, the quality is bad. Don't want to be part of this anymore. They are ruining my reputation. And now MrBeast Burger tries to clap back with a $100 million lawsuit. It's getting crazy out here, guys. It's getting crazy out here. I'm going to share the screen with you guys so you can see MrBeast Burger suing for 100 million for selling undercooked meals. That was basically the reason why MrBeast said last week that he wanted to cut ties. The burger franchise, which is part of the VDC, which is a, let's call it, virtual kitchen company, said that MrBeast was trying to wiggle out of a bad contract, or a contract he wanted a bigger share of the pie. I guess they want also a pie. They want the whole pie at VDC. RJ,
Yes, yes. And guys, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Engage with us, comment, like, and share the video. As you said, KR, first of all, it's very interesting to see again for the, I forgot how many amount of times that they're suing. So a party is suing for exactly 100 million. This isn't the first time
where is that from?
we it's like they have a standard template that they keep that they keep reproducing. But that's a very interesting topic. And as you said, last week we talked about the fact that Mr. Beast was suing for the fact that the quality of the Mr. Beast burger wasn't good. And you mentioned it already that there was certain suspicions that Mr. Beast had perhaps a better contract waiting, and that one of the theories was that he was just trying to look for a reason to get out of this contract. You said it was a bad contract. It might be a bad contract for him, not for Mr. Beast Burger.
Yeah, yeah, definitely for him.
Yeah.
Because you want to say something?
No,
No,
proceed.
he actually tweeted about it. In this lawsuit, the VDC added a couple of tweets relating to this. How do you call it? Do you call it a shenanigan? I don't know. This is what the tweet said. If I had the ability to close it, I would have done so for a long time ago. Sadly, when you're young, you sign SHIT deal. I think that's what he's trying to write here. But he's trying to keep it PC.
Yes, yes.
Hey, man. He also said the company I partner with won't let me stop, even though it's terrible for my brand. Young Beast signed a bad deal. These have been removed by now. These have been removed right now. But I guess the burger franchise was trying to collect some evidence before this happened. They saw this one coming a mile ahead.
Yes,
Maybe you should warn your enemies what's coming up.
yeah. And what's interesting is that if those tweets are true, aside from the fact that he was basically telling his enemies what he was going to do, two things. First, he also showed that showed a different motive. So it doesn't mean that it will become impossible for him to get out of the deal due to non-compliance with certain standards or quality. But he's giving the opposing party evidence in which another motive is clearly stated, it's clearly described. Now the question is, because he's saying the company will not let me stop, doesn't want to terminate the agreement. Well, if you enter into an agreement, you need to make sure that the terms of the agreement are good, it's supposed to be, that they're favorable. And it's always good to have like exits, right? It's always, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily need to be exits, but you have to put like checks and balances in place. So and it has to be like as objective as possible. So for example, you would need to put, okay, you can't put in a contract the food needs to be good. No, you need to make it more concrete. For example, you would need to say that a particular body or organization that checks on quality needs to give it a 4-star out of 5, for example. Something concrete. because then you know
They can
that
verify.
yeah, it's verifiable. It's smart, right? You can say you can, if the burger joint gets 3 out of 5, like 2 consecutive years, then, and the contract says that that would be a ground to leave, then you don't need the permission of the other people to leave.
To leave.
But if you enter a contract into perpetuity, you can still break a contract if there's non-compliance, but you would need to prove exactly what the compliance is. I haven't seen the deal, so maybe it does say, maybe the deal is concrete. I don't know, but that's gonna be a bit tricky. On the other hand, the $100 million is also a something that, yeah, we've seen that before.
It's a wild one.
We've seen that before. Yeah, that's a shocking number to make the news, and I think so.
Yeah. And by the way, should it be a third party who's overseeing like rating, or should you have your own, like your own guys rating it?
No, I think it's better. Think of it. I hear an echo.
So probably there is an echo. I don't hear anything, but it's probably on your side.
I think it went away. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, it needs to be a third party. It's in the best interest for both people, because if I let my specialist go check it out, then, and it gives me, it's very biased. So you
So
want
put Michelin star on it, so you know if it doesn't reach one Michelin star, you know the contract can be breached.
yeah. Now, what MrBeast can do, because that's also a strategy, right? Is in the settlement. So you cause a fuss, and when you go to court, etc., and your lawyers try to settle, you can then push for amendments in the contract. Because the other party would need, I mean, that can also be a solution. So we see court cases and we think, oh no, they're going all the way, but the strategies can vary. A strategy can be, I want a court decision, but a strategy can also be, hey, when I talk to these people, they just tell me no. So I'll start court proceedings so that everyone starts spending money. I think I have more money. I think I have more money than the burger joint does. And we can go all the way with this. And while we're going to court, our lawyers might try to engage into conversations with one another to try to enter into a deal. And if they can enter into a deal, then you can use that settlement deal to try to push certain conditions in that weren't there previously.
Yeah, but basically what the suit reads on the MrBeast burger side, their suit reads, this case is about a social media celebrity who believes his fame means that his word does not matter. The facts do not matter, and that he can renege and breach his contractual obligations without consequence. Well, on MrBeast's side, it says MrBeast burger's reputation. Oh no, this basically the response. This was the response to the previous filed suit by MrBeast Burger. They say MrBeast Burger's reputation was materially damaged, if not destroyed. Customers abandoned the brand. Plaintiffs' hard-won relationship with vendors, partners, and suppliers were shattered, causing damages to the plaintiff that, according to the evidence and Donald's own statement, Donald is MrBeast's legal name, own statements regarding the value of MrBeast Burger are in the 9-figure range.
Yeah.
Let's see how it ends. I mean, this is probably. You have a point there. Maybe this is a way to negotiate, and he's not trying to totally break it. He took a couple of examples. I've seen a picture of the how they serve it. I don't know if that's I want to be. If there is, this is double thought burger, I don't know if I want it to be served like that. But
Yeah, but yeah, and maybe he wants to terminate the deal as well. But if that's the case, then they can still enter into agreement. But I think that you need to realize that if you're gonna break a contract, the one that breaks a contract should pay damage repair.
mm,
So it would be best to negotiate the damage repair, in my opinion, in my not expert opinion, uh, because because of the fact that we've seen cases, we've talked about all those cases, KR, where someone offers to settle for a small amount, a relatively small amount. They don't take it, they go to court, and that person gets like more than tenfold what he or she asked for. We had various
oh yeah,
examples.
that's the Starbucks case,
That's
right?
the Starbucks, but that's also the Flow Ride. I mean, there have been
Yeah.
more shows like that. So it's always better. So you use the court proceedings to put pressure, because then you have a deadline, right? Because you know that, on this date we need to file a response. On this day we need to file a motion, and those deadlines, you put a certain time pressure that is different than when I just call and say, "Hey, KR, let's talk about terminating the contract." You'll just say, "Yeah, okay, cool," or "No, I'm not interested." And then there's no deadline, no time pressure, so no
Mm.
urgency to change things. So, but for Mr. Beast Burger, KR, I don't know. Let's say the is it beneficial as a company if the person, let's say the legend, the YouTube legend, Mr. Beast, who is probably the reason he's probably at least 50, I'm gonna say more percent of the reason why you're successful,
Oh yeah,
like 70,
probably
80.
probably 80. I think more close
Yeah,
to 80 because
I was
the
I was
name of the brand is Mr. Beast. So
yeah. So if you have a problem with the person that has cost you or has made it possible for you to have the success that you've been having as a company to grow, then and such an influencer has an issue with you, you need to realize that that person can also, if he wants to, make sure directly or indirectly that people don't buy from you anymore.
push a button.
Because if he says, guys, this is my story, he can like create a story. He's great in that. He has a great team, and he also gives good lessons on how to go viral. So that video will probably go viral, and where he will talk about it, and he will say, "Listen, guys, when I was young, I entered into a deal, and that
Young,
deal isn't
like
good."
4 years ago, but
Yeah, well, younger, and and that deal isn't beneficial. And then he tells his story. People will stop buying from Mr. Beast Burger. The same speed that they bought, or they committed to the brand. That's the same speed that they will leave the burger brand. So I think it's in the benefit of Mr. Beast Burger as well to really consider the termination and just try to go out with agreement that is as good as possible.
here's what it is. One thing for sure.
He got cooked. Adrian, you didn't go down like that, huh? He got cooked.
Well,
Anyway, well, the burgers weren't cooked, but
the burgers were undercooked.
according to Mr. Beast Burger,
Yeah.
well, I don't have any recollection. I haven't tested it out, so let's see how this ends. Good
Yes.
luck to both of them.
Yes.
Guys, the second topic of today is Lindsay Shiver. I think we talked about it last week in last week's show, where we discussed the initial developments where an American woman was arrested down in Bahamas for trying to do a deletion for hire on her husband.
The soap opera, man.
Soap opera, man. Former NFL snapper. And also CEO of a pretty large company. She was in a divorce with him. And suddenly she was basically, she was in a divorce and she thought, you know what? Instead of divorcing, why don't I talk to my lover about maybe baby, let's get something done so we can live happily together after with a couple of millions. Somehow the Bahamas police got wind, and here we are now. They both got locked up, released on bail. Last week we discussed the fact that the husband paid for the bill. I guess the sources were wrong because the husband was looking at that bill money and said, yeah,
I'm good.
I'm good.
Give me a break.
Give me a break. I want. Do you have the locked up one from Donald Trump?
No, I don't.
Ah,
I have this one.
Because you'd be in jail.
yes. Well, that's the closest one we can get for today. Yeah. So basically, it was her parents who paid for it. The parents put up the bail money. Family. As they say, she has their love and unwavering support in the deletion for hire case as they scramble to secure the 100K cash for her release from hellhole Bahamas prison. Guess who else was also in that Bahamas prison? Our main topic later on. Bahamas seems to be the place where the lowest of the low get caught up and get released. Anyway, guys.
And get caught up again.
And get caught up again. Yes. They also released the mugshot. They released the mugshot of the alleged planner of this whole thing.
The alleged mastermind.
Well, I don't know how master this is, but
It's a mind.
it's a mind. It's a mind. They screwed up. So this is the picture of Lindsay after they caught her. Life is hard, man. Life is hard. And to the point that now they've been released now, this past Friday. And well, on bail, by the way, of course. No, not released off jail. They're not off the hook yet. They are not allowed to leave the island. They have to stay on the island, but they can walk around there. It was also the fact that her ex-lover, or no, not her ex-lover, her lover, started talking. I don't know what he's doing by talking to, I don't know who he's talking to. But I think it's a bad idea. From a lawyer's perspective, I would say, shut your mouth. Because he was basically trying to plead, saying it was all out of frustration.
Oh, now we understand. No, if that's the case, then we don't need to continue. You can go, sir. You can go, ma'am.
You can go. He says the following. Everybody says things out of frustration, as he refers to Lindsay Shiver's text. So you want to basically send a message, a text to the lover saying we need to delete this guy out of frustration.
Your husband.
Your husband, who you're in divorce with, who's actually asking for no alimony. Yo, this is wild. No alimony. He wants full custody of the kids. So you'll be broke, busted, and disgusted with your lover in Bahamas, in a shack.
And usually they say over my dead body. But she said over your dead body. Allegedly.
Amen. And of course, the
Allegedly.
lover, allegedly, and the lover was also thinking, we're gonna get out of this hellhole.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey man, life is crazy, man. Life is crazy. RJ.
Yeah, life is crazy. And now it's going to be a case of trying to assemble as much evidence as possible to see whether or not, so how realistic the talks were, because no action has taken place. If it is true that they were planning, and that's what the police and the prosecutor is alleging, then that can be a tricky case because nothing has happened. So you would need to prove that the preparations were, let's say, it was more than just talking. So if you had seen, for example, a plan and some like specifics, then that would have been more plausible than if someone just said, hey, we need to do this, we need to delete this person. And that's going to be a task for the police, actually, because we're talking about an attempt, a possible attempt.
Possible that it was pretty early. I think it seems like it was pretty early on in the process.
Yeah.
So how can you prove that it was frustration versus?
Yeah. Well, you would need to
deliberate
look
plan?
you would need to look at all the facts and circumstances of the case, right? So, for example, they flew to the Bahamas. When they flew to the Bahamas, for example, was there a text beforehand? Was there a text when he got there? Were they sending locations? The more you can prove that, because in the last show you talked about, you said that they took a picture.
Yeah, apparently. So the sources were saying that she sent a picture of her and her husband and said, delete him. That's what they are saying.
Yeah. So so that's what that's probably what they're investigating now, and if they can make it plausible, then if the prosecutor can make it plausible that the planning was more than just expression out of frustration, but it was an actual plan, then they might all get jail time.
Whatever happens, I think this is not good for her in that divorce case as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these allegations, even if she gets off, I mean, it's people will look at this like, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, it's gonna be difficult because we need to check out, or at least in the family case, because you are saying. You are showing certain signs of
narcissism.
Not narcissism, but you're not stable, right? So, and think of it as well when you're think of it.
His point.
So yeah, so think of it as well when you're talking about the kids, right? When the judge is going to decide who will the kids stay at and all those type of things. What the judge usually does is check what is in the, or at least what the judge should do is check what's in the best interest of the kids. Now, you can be a you can be a bad husband, or you can be a bad wife.
Doesn't mean you're a bad
That doesn't mean you're a bad parent.
mother. Yeah.
So, but in this case, if as a mother you're talking about deleting the other parent, that is definitely not, that can definitely not in the benefit of the father, of the kids, apologies.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
not in the benefit of the kids, and that can have negative consequences, because the judge might say, hey, listen, okay, it didn't work out between you two. That can happen. However, you are planning, or you are making jokes about deleting the children's father. Now, the you know, it's I don't know if it's going to be at least, I don't know how seriously the judge will take it. It all depends on what actually, so what the evidence show. But yeah, you do create something. You do create. She does make it more difficult for herself.
Can they pull evidence from that case into the family case? So can they show like text that the Bahamian police found? Can they show it also in the other case? Because they are two very different countries. I mean, we're talking about America, where the divorce case is happening, and in Bahamas, where the criminal case is being investigated. Can you do that? Move A to B.
Yeah. So evidence is evidence. Doesn't really matter where it's from. The only thing is that it needs to be collected according to, let's say, formal rules, right?
Okay.
So if you're talking about tapping, wiretapping, or spying, or those type of things, those are infringement of someone's right to privacy, and there are certain rules that you need to take into account when doing so. That's why you need to ask for approval by a certain body. But in the case of in the case we're talking about, it's a criminal case in Bahamas, and if the texts are released, then technically speaking, those are public. It's like public, or at least, even if it's not public, even if it's private, as one of the parties, I am entitled to have it. So if I'm entitled to have it, then I obtain it legally, and I can also add it to the exhibits for the judge to review.
Interesting thing you said, by the way, because how one of the questions we had last time around is how did he find out she was divorcing? We were talking about patterns, breaking patterns, and we talked about how wives or husbands find out how people change their patterns and all that stuff. And apparently, since you talked about investigating and spying, Robert Shiver thought it was suspect the amount of time she was going back to Bahamas. He hired a private investigator to track down her Bahamian lover, bartender, and confront him before she plotted the deletion. So he was noticing that she was going back and forth. As the article says, before fighting for a divorce in a legal battle that would see him and Lindsay fight for custody for the kids over the property in Georgia and also in the Caribbean, they were basically, she was flying in and out. And he was like, I know you ain't like Bahamas that much. Last time you flew there. Now suddenly you're flying without me. She's like, not sure. And he decided to hire that private investigator. Can they use that evidence in the case.
Yeah,
And
there the it really depends. I'm not familiar with the U.S. Rules regarding uh, the collection of information, or at least what evidence, or at least the legal ways and illegal ways to obtain evidence. But I don't see that it would be such a big problem, actually, um, in this case. I don't think so, at least, because it's not the uh, the officials,
mm,
the law officials that obtained information. It was the person itself, and that seems to me like more, and that seems more to me like it's a different kind of case. It's not a family law case.
mm.
They can say that he obtained it illegally, but usually the illegal, usually the emphasis is more on the on whether or not, let's say, law officials have obtained information in a way that's not correct. But if I hire someone to try to dig something out, yeah, I don't think that they will look at it uh, that stringently. And say, if we're talking about the family law case as well, the judge is there to determine what's in the best interest for the kids. Now,
Mm.
if you obtain information in a way that's not illegal, I mean, the judge might say, "Oh, I'm not going to consider." Even if a judge might say, and again, I have no clue how a judge, so what the exact rules are in this case. But if I have to imagine, even if a judge says, "Oh, I'm not going to take this information into account," the judge already has, with the knowledge that the judge has, the judge can reach the same conclusion just using different evidence. So, yeah, I don't think that's not gonna affect or hamper the man's possibility to file the documents. But again, I'm not the expert in this field.
Anyway, let's see how this develops. I mean, this case is kind of crazy if you think about it. First of all, you start a divorce, and then you suddenly are in a deletion for hire case in another country. At the end, these people are not really that well known, but as this case is gaining more and more media coverage lately. I've seen also on TV, and also people take it basically looking out for what is going on here. So let's see how it develops, and yeah, maybe if it's dying down, I don't know, for a lack of a better word, we will also let the story go where it goes. So we might or might not continue to cover it. Let us know in the topics if you want us to continuously cover this story and see what happens with Lindsay, Robert, and Bethel, as the lover's name goes. Yeah, guys, before we continue with the show, let's press on that like button if you wouldn't mind hitting it. It really helps us get our videos out there to more people, guys. We're trying to reach more people because we're trying to spread the word.
Yes, yes, the gospel.
Yes, we're trying to spread the gospel. Also, don't forget to follow us on all socials, Instagram and Facebook at The Double Thought Show. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. We see that 95% of you guys watch quite often. You like the content. I see you guys liking it. If you are continuously interested in the topics we cover, we do business topics, we do legal topics. If you like these topics, press on that subscribe button as we're trying to reach a goal. RJ,
Yes, guys. We want to get 20 new subs this week. As I've already mentioned at the beginning of the show, a lot of you guys are watching or rewatching but are not subscribing. But if you haven't done so already, and first and foremost, we're really grateful for your engagement. We see the numbers as well. For we are a small channel as it relates to the amount of subscribers we have. But when you look at the amount of views that we get, it's comparable to channels that have 10 times our subscriber numbers, or 20 times even sometimes. So it's not a matter of engagement. We know that what we put out is interesting. It gets consumed, and we get positive feedback from you guys. But I can't stress this enough. It's very important that you subscribe as well, because this helps us to grow the channel and to basically improve the quality of the shows, create or at least add more people to our team so we can be able to put out more. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Thank you in advance for your commitment.
yes, yes. And last but not least, don't forget to share the video with your friends, family, your lover, the cook at the restaurant, your backup dancers, or whoever you're exposing in your during your case, aka Sam Bankman. Guys, let's continue with the show. The third topic of today is Lizzo. Also a topic we covered before as well. We thought last week, right? We talked about Lizzo. That was the first week. Talked about the crazy allegations, guys. Some we cannot even describe exactly what happened. There's a combination of work-related, working under horrible conditions, but also backup answers of Lizzo being encouraged, extremely encouraged, to ingest fruits that are propelled from private parts. I'm putting sauce on it, guys. It's not like so here we are. Last week we talked about it from a business perspective. What kind of impact this will have on Lizzo? And we are seeing now already some of that impact. Last week, Beyonce already removed Lizzo. We talked about this. Removed Lizzo from the song, from one of her songs, where she shouts out a couple of other performers. This week, it's being said that Lizzo has been dropped from Super Bowl halftime consideration in the wake of abuse claims and also other kind of claims, as her team frantically scrambles to save her sinking ship. And sinking it is, because
Fast.
more people are... I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Should I say it?
More people are piling on the victim scale.
No. More people are jumping on the ship. 6 more people are being vetted right now because they also want to join that case. 6 more. That's 9 now.
That's Robert numbers.
Quit playing.
Robert.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
Lizzo. Hard times, man.
Yeah, and I think we posted a clip already in the past, guys. If you haven't done so already, remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like and comment as well. Uh, we talked about it. We had a clip, KR, about the whether or not it's a cash grab or not,
Yeah.
and it can be a cash grab. We never know. We never know whether or not it's a cash grab or not. What is interesting to see, because usually it's guys being accused of things of this nature, and all the accusers, they also pile up very fast, and we are as a society conditioned to believe that faster than we seem to be to believe that a female can also be abuser, a bully, or something of that nature.
Mm.
But it's interesting to see that the same trend that's going on. I can't recall uh, a time, well, except for the Ellen case, Ellen DeGeneres, the DeGeneres, um, in her last season as well, or the second to last season, she um, claims were also made that she's a bully and that she's mean, etc. But it doesn't happen that often. But I didn't think that six more people would offer to join the lawsuit, and it doesn't look good for Lizzo, and it seems as though she's also being greeted with the same greetings that men get in situations like that, which is being uh, being found guilty by the court of public opinion, brands and opportunities being so doors being closed in front of her nose, and it's very interesting to see
Very interesting,
this.
yes.
Yeah,
Because the question you gotta ask yourself now is, if we have to believe our women, which are the women we should believe now?
yeah,
That's a good question to ask.
yeah,
And also, maybe men are also, maybe we are seeing now, like you said, the development of women being accused because men are moving a bit different in cases like these. They have learned a bit faster. They don't want to get caught up in a lawsuit.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think that but just like in the case of men, you also see people who pile up when they see a cash grab opportunity. So we shouldn't trust trust we shouldn't trust. I mean, we should just wait until the end, right? That's what I want to say. But I mean, so like we talked about, some people are blaming men for this.
Oh,
It's
that's another.
still,
That's the clip before this show, today.
yeah,
We dropped this today.
yeah. So it's like it's men are to blame for Liz. I don't know how. Well, I know how. At the end of the day, it's always man's fault.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's something that we would need to wait and see. But I think it's definitely harmful for her image. She's had an image of being very independent, going against the grain, being proud of who she is. Her fans love her. She they love her because she's like, let's say, the modern day Monique. Monique was also saying, "I'm big and beautiful," and Lizzo too. And people are like, "Yeah, Lizzo is beautiful. She has a beautiful face." And but yeah, so this can be definitely can be a setback for her, especially if the rumors are found to be true. But even if they aren't, and that's the time we're living in, you already get a verdict from the court of public opinion. So the damage is already done.
Damage is already done, and I think we as people, that's what one of the things we say at Double Talk Show is you gotta be moving very careful out here. Be conscious of the situations you're in and how things can change your trajectory. Let's say you're up and coming athlete or whatever, and you get accused of something weird, even if you didn't do it. Now you have like that's it tarnish your image to the point that people are always looking at you like sideways.
Yeah.
Not sure if you did it or not, even though you didn't do nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently, some people say Tory didn't do nothing.
Well, well,
That,
the
but
the,
hey,
the
let's see.
there's one benefit as at least for Lizzo. Let's say if the music thing doesn't work out and she does get found, and these rumors do prove to be true, and maybe she does a couple of things, get caught with doing some things that aren't ethical or legal, but small things, minor things that might ruin her music career. That at least by doing those things, she would put herself in a better position to be to enter into Hollywood, to be casted as to get roles, because Hollywood loves.
You can do this on your own.
Hollywood loves felons, man. It's Hollywood and the Patriots.
Okay, okay. I thought you were gonna say something else. But RJ, there's one way for her to solve this problem. I've seen this problem before.
Yeah. What's the
Yes,
way?
yes. We've seen it in the past. When things get tough, start making bangers.
Yeah, it's true.
Kobe did it when it was his time,
Yeah.
putting 60 on that board.
Yeah.
Lizzo, get in that studio and start making a couple of bangers, make people realize that you don't need them.
Yeah. Lizzo. Fight for your life.
Quit playing.
Quit
I didn't
playing.
do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
Put 60 on the board, Lizzo. We need to see a couple of hits.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's gotta be an album, 10 songs, 10 hits. Come on, Lizzo. I
Yeah,
like her songs. She's not a bad singer or something. She makes catchy songs.
she makes very catchy songs. So that's what I told you last time as well. I can't tell you Lizzo's catalog because I don't listen to Lizzo, but I don't listen to. Well, I'm at the point now, KR. In the past, I used to learn lyrics of songs. Now I'm at the point where if I hear songs, it's just for, let's say, mood. But there are certain songs that are that I know let's say they're Lizzo songs, and they are catchy, as you say. So as an artist, I think she's a good artist. But hey, we see it. Hey, KR, as you said, that's a good tip actually. As long as, who said it as well? Oh, DL Ugly. If you keep, I think it's DL Ugly. He said if you keep making bangers, people forget.
Hey, get in
everything.
the studio, Lizzo.
Yeah.
Don't
You're-
look at these struggles. Let them in their lawsuit. You
You're
put
one.
10 songs out. I'm telling you, put 10 songs out. People will forget them. They'll say, Lizzo didn't put enough work on you guys.
It's crazy.
Let's see how this ends, man.
that-
I mean,
That's a crazy world we live in. So yeah.
that's the crazy world we live in. I mean, it's crazy. I truly believe if she puts out a couple of bangers, it's over. The lawsuit. I mean, these dancers, these former dancers, Lizzo dancers, are saying they're not gonna back down. They're not gonna back. This is what it say. Lizzo former dancers say they're not backing down from allegations. We were treated poorly.
Yeah.
Put 10 songs out, and they'll say treat more people poorly.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, let's see how this ends. I mean, this is crazy. And times are changing. times are changing. It's not only men being accused now, it's always also women. So I guess, or apparently, according to the clip we released, it's man's fault. So
I just thought of a different, like a couple of minutes ago, I just thought something you said. I thought of a different defense that men can use in court or any place, in any instance where they want to convince people of what they're saying. I didn't do it. Yes, you did. I didn't do it. 3 people saw you. I didn't do it. You're on camera. But I'm telling you, I didn't do it. We don't believe you. I identify as a woman. Believe all women.
I've seen him do it.
Right to jail, right away.
hey, don't try that at home, guys.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
That's against the law. You're gonna have to go to jail.
hey man, life can be crazy. Life can be crazy sometimes. Let's see how this continues to go, man.
Let's see.
Lizzo might be heading for a payout for
Yep.
treating her employees bad. What say you? Should she pay out? Or is she the victim? Who is the victim? The woman or the woman?
With the Womex.
No, woman or woman?
Woman or?
Woman.
I don't- Yeah. Women.
Women. Okay, fuck. Anyway, guys, let us know in the comments what you think about this whole.
You were saying the same thing, man. I was like,
Well, should have said woman next, but
yeah, women. Is it? Yeah.
women. Believe all women. You know we said women, right? Let's
No.
continue with the show. I'm not gonna. And those who know, let us know in the comments who said women. I gotta tell you after the show. I cannot put this into the show. I gotta put this on record.
All right.
Anyway, guys. We are here. The headline of the day. Sam Bankman fried.
Yeah.
Free fraud.
Well, we used
Locked
to say free fried fraud. But now I think it's just fried and fraud. Because word on the streets is that he's not gonna remain free any longer.
Nah, he's not free anymore, man. He's not free. This great FTX founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, gets shocked of his life as judge revokes his 250 million bail and orders him to jail after he leaked witness love letters. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago, we talked about this whole stuff. Basically, what we found was that Sam gave an interview, I think, to the New York Times or one of the New York, yes, well, it was the New York Times, and he leaked Caroline Ellison's love letters. What we said back then is this very responsible? Who is advising this young man? Is he listening to the advice he gets? The man leaked letters of a witness Only thing I said back then was
Stop it. Get some help.
get some help, dude, because you're playing with fire. And those who play with fire, I cannot say this.
Get
I
fried.
cannot say this. Get cooked to the point they're fried. I want to say something else, but I think you saved me. And what I was about to say was despicable.
Wow.
RJ.
Yeah, you said that you asked the question whether or not he listens to other people. Let's say that if whether or not he's listening to advice from other people.
Yeah.
Maybe he also has the same mindset as Kanye does. Yeah, easy. Why would I listen to someone that has less money than me? So, so Sam was like, Sam's probably thinking all these brokies, they're just jealous that I outsmarted them.
They don't
I
know
don't
nothing.
I don't think he was listening to anybody actually. I think because you remember what the cop said. The cop said that he seems to have like a Jesus complex, a savior complex. He's like
Yeah.
the god of his world, and everyone else is his subject. So I think he's not listening to anybody. He's just doing what he wants to do. And the funny thing is, KR, that from the get-go, everyone was shocked that he was released on bail because the gravity of the things that he's being accused of is extremely high. We're talking about someone that is being accused of money laundering, being accused of fraudulent acts, stealing from investors, misappropriation of funds. And a great part of these transactions happens online. Now, they couldn't find, and with they, I mean the investigators, the cops, the prosecutors, they are still looking for the money. Why would you give someone like this access to the internet where he can go and tie up loose ends? So that's what the consequences were of letting him free. But still, the judge said you can go free on bail. I think the bill was 250 million KR.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 250.
So
And you said back then before you continue, you said back then when they gave him the bill, you said this is the worst idea ever.
yeah,
You said it back then. That's like 6 months ago, 7 months, something like that.
Yeah,
In January.
yeah,
It's already
because
8 months actually.
yeah.
So
And
you
so
basically continue.
and this isn't the first time he violated KR. Remember, he violated as well.
It's not the first time.
He accessed the internet by through a VPN, saying that he was watching the NFL conference finals.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at that guy, you know that there's the chances are more likely that he's following the Final Fantasy newsletter than any sport. But I guess people still believed him. And with his latest actions, which were dropping the letters, or at least exposing, leaking actually the letters of not only the star witness but also his ex-girlfriend, who was deeply involved in all of his companies and, of course, his personal life. That was apparently the straw that broke the camel's back. The question is, KR, did the so I'm gonna ask two questions. The same question. One of the question I'll ask it as a critical person, and the other question I'll ask it as a conspiracy. Like it has to do with a conspiracy. The first question is skeptical. Did he have enough time to tie up the loose ends, to cover all loose ends, so he can remain with the money? And that's the first question. That's a critical question. So that he can keep the money hidden for himself or whatever. The second question is, did all the people he sponsored, the politicians, the people in politics, the people in high places, can it be that they gave him that amount of time, 6 months, whenever the amount is, to help cover things that they are involved in? I mean, at this point, it's so dirty that nothing you cannot dismiss anything. But we'll never find out, of course.
We won't know, but let's see how they. Last time we talked about the fact that he's also being sued for using money he stole or he gifted to his father to fund his defense. 10 million. And there's a lot of other things. They cannot find certain money. Money was basically, guys, from what I see, from what I've read so far, we've been covering this story since the dawn, since it happened. What it seems to me is that he gave you coins, he took your money. That's a fair, according to him, that was a fair trade. You gave me the money, I gave you coins, and I buy my stuff with your money. And I put the money away safely because you cannot handle money right.
It's basically an arcade that you're describing. They play you can play Pac-Man, you can play you can play air hockey, you can play a lot of things, but the money stays here. But you can
The money stays here. You get coins, I get the money, I buy everything else, I stash the money, I pay others to facilitate us growing as a company. And when you want your money back, what money? Money back.
money front.
You would be sitting there asking for
Donations. Donations.
there ain't no money. There
Yes.
ain't no money. I don't know what dude, they were buying property. They were buying, apparently they wanted to buy islands for doomsday scenarios. They bought everything with
Yo.
other people's money.
Okay. Doomsday scenario. They would have bought an island, declare it independent, and then pass a law that prohibits extradition.
Oh man, this is crazy, guys. This is crazy. If you go watch the whole go watch the whole playlist, you will be surprised at at the things these people have been doing. I cannot imagine. And it seems like there's a lot of people with crypto being caught up in this stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think I saw the other day. I saw another crypto guy who embezzled, I think, 12 million from his investors.
Yeah, I saw that
You gotta
too.
be you gotta be very careful who you give your money to, because these guys out here, man, and for what? A short term win?
Yeah,
Are
but
you
it's
dead?
but it's a
That's what I
risk.
don't
It's a
understand. You know?
I was watching a podcast yesterday, and a lady was talking. I think her name is Cody Sanchez. I think that's her name. And she was talking, and she said that they were talking about investing, and she has a very interesting career. Actually, she well, she describes it in the podcast, but in short, she worked very hard to get where she was. She was a former Goldman Sachs employee, rose very fast, and then now she has her own private equity firm, I believe. And she has a company that helps other companies or other people invest in companies. So that's what she does. But I say that just to say that she's credible to talk about these things. And she says that there are people. She was talking, and the host. They were talking about investment, and the host asked her, if your cousin or your niece or your younger self had $1,000, what would you advise that person to do with $1,000? She said, I would advise that person to invest it in himself or herself. So go to courses, go to trainings, try a business out. When you're young, you can still fail without the consequences being too severe, etc., etc. And so that was mentioned, and the host asked her, so you won't tell her to invest in crypto? And she said, no. Not that she necessarily wouldn't tell her to invest in crypto, yes or no, but more. So she's an investor, and she says that there's a difference. So in that world, they make there's a difference between investors and speculators, and there are a
Mhm.
lot of speculators. So
Yeah.
they're like, okay, I get money. Oh, crypto, it's blowing up. And what they always think that they can beat the system, just like the pyramid schemes, right? Everyone thinks that they can get out just in time, so they wouldn't be the, let's say, caught with the L. But it's a very risky, I guess, a high risk, high reward game, and a lot of people lost.
A lot of people are losing, man. I mean, there is another case, by the way. I mean, man, crypto is being used for different stuff like money laundering and all that stuff. And apparently, there was this Argentinian crypto king who didn't have the luxury. He didn't get the luxury to get locked up because he stole from the wrong people.
Mm,
They found him in a bag.
not
In
even a Gucci.
no. They found him in a bag, drifting off in a river in Argentina. And he was bawling. He was talking. I mean, Instagram is not real, guys. Instagram is not real. What you ever see, these guys are making, they are flaunting their luxurious life. They might be flaunting your money. They're not, they making no money. It's your money that you gave to them to invest. That's what he's living on.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's why
he's
he
playing.
always
So for you, as high risk, high reward, he's playing the safe game. It's low risk, high reward for him.
he's
Well,
playing,
it is
he's
high
playing
risk.
with house money.
Well, it is house risk, but it is high risk because he's in jail now, but or he's gonna go to jail. It's not clear to me whether or not he already went to jail, but he was playing a high risk, high reward game as it relates to his life. But with regards to the money aspect, he was getting the money easily. So yeah, it's very this story care keeps on. It's never a dull moment with the story. Story
Yeah.
keeps on
He keeps on
developing.
giving. At least for now, he won't be giving anything. He should. He should watch out. Don't. I hope he has time to research this. That he didn't lock them up. Google. Sam, Google. Don't drop the soap.
Well, KR, I think he's used to dropping the soap because they had they had a polyamorous relationship with 10 people, man. He's gonna go to jail with extra soap just to not run out of soap.
Hey, did you watch the by the way, did you watch the Anton Daniels interview of Fleece Johnson?
I'm not gonna watch them.
That-
I'm not going to watch the Boondocks. The
Yeah,
Boondocks.
the Boondocks guy, the guy who said it's an original. I saw the real interview. This guy was sitting there, said he really said the lines. What was it again? It was like we can do it the easy way or the hard way. He was talking about it. So it's a very interesting story, guys. It's a very interesting story. You see that the choices you make will always haunt you. I think they don't talk about the that long. They talk about basically his story, how he got locked up. He got locked up at 16 or 17, dude.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's crazy. If you get locked up at that age, he grew up. I'm not gonna. Oh my god.
Let's not
He
talk
really
about
grew up in jail.
it. Yeah.
I want to say something. But
Hey,
I
KR,
won't.
this is a legal show, man. Go
a
start
legal
your channel. Go
Let's
start
go.
your channel. Talk about this. Don't talk. Not on the.
He got locked up. That's also legal, right?
Yeah, well.
Anyway,
I guess so.
guys, let us know in the comments what you think about Sam. Is it a good thing that he's getting locked up? Should he get 60 years for allegedly stealing people's money? For mismanaging, let's call it mismanagement, misappropriation, grabbing your money, putting it in his pocket. Or was it legal to take your money and put it up in his pocket? Let us know in the comments, because life is wild.
Yes, life is wild.
FTX is wilder.
Life is very wild, KR, and he is like a magician, or at least terrible magician.
Let's hope he doesn't make things disappear in jail.
Because he's a terrible magician, because he can only do one part of the act. He can only make your money disappear. So, hey guys, with that being said, thanks to everyone that has stick with us to the end of the show. Whatever your thoughts are, please let us know in the comment section below. Remember to rate the show by pressing the like button, share the video with your friends, your family, and of course, do not forget to share with your enemies as well. Check us out on our socials. But most importantly, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel. We want to get 20 new subscribers this week. We're seeing the subscriber numbers ticking up, so that's a very good thing. We thank you for your support. But if you're watching and haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It really helps the channel. As KR always says at the end of the show.
But I can only show you the door.
And behind that door, if you find yourself on a boat and you're seeing someone getting beat up, get your lifesaver and make sure you jump in the water with this one.
Yo.
and swim towards shore to make sure someone doesn't lose their life.
Yes, yes, yes. Hey, let's have a healthy conversation in the comment section below. It's been a pleasure to serve you once more, and we'll see each other in the next one. Until next time,
Peace.
peace.